Drayton Manor is a theme park in the United Kingdom near Birmingham. This park has been around for nearly 75 years, but it has undergone some major changes. Over the past few years, the park has transitioned into more of a family park. This has caused the loss of some major thrill rides, but this has led to an influx of new attractions and themed areas. In this video, I will rank this park's top 15 rides. This is reflective as of the 2024 season, which is when my lone visit to the park took place. Number 15, Jolly Buccaneer. This is a pirate-themed mock Himalaya. It only travels forwards, but it runs for a long duration. The speed is decent, so you get solid sustained laterals throughout. Number 14, Dodgems Ahoy. This is a set of bumper cars. They have average speed and power, but unlike the Dodgems I'm accustomed to in the US, this one has a big open arena, so you can hit people at any angle. Number 13, Loki. This is Zamperla Nebulas. It is a mesmerizing, eye-catching attraction with a constant near misses. This is great both on and off ride. I wish it rotated fast enough to offer airtime, but this ride is more about the visuals. Number 12, Jormungandr. This is a long Zamperla powered coaster. Most rides like this have compact, contained layouts, but this one sprawls about. You cross over the Viking area, then you have two helixes, including one over the water. It is on the slower side, but the helixes both offer some weak laterals. Number 11, Thor. This is a Zamperla disco coaster. The cycle is solid duration. You have plenty of spinning, particularly when you're whipped over the bunny hump. Then the far spikes each offer a little bit of weightlessness. Number 10, River Rapids. This is an intimate rapids ride built beneath the wave, so you get some fun visuals of that coaster cycling overhead. There aren't too many rapids in this one. I think there were only two that generated okay splashes. Then there are geysers later in the ride that miss the boat entirely, so you likely won't get that soaked in this ride, which I view as a con, but the ride has a nice bouncy soundtrack playing throughout. Number 9, Accelerator. This was the first Vekoma family boomerang, and it's a fun little coaster. The initial drop offers a mild falling sensation in the rear rows. Then you get some light Gs in the turns and helixes. The spike at the far end does not do too much because you barely travel up it, but it does reverse your direction at least. The ride's theme doesn't really work with the newly formed Frontier Falls Western area, so hopefully they update the ride in future seasons. Number 8, Air Race. This is a Zamperla inverting flat. You flip countless times, getting some nice hang time in a large chunk of them, and it's quite disorienting when your individual arm rotates in the opposite direction of the center arm. Number 7, Blasting Barrels. This is a unique set of teacups from Intamin. You have your individual tub that can be spun. The wheel is heavy, but you can get a good spin going. Then your tub rotates in a small circle. That small circle rotates in a larger circle around the platform. What differentiates this one from the other teacup rides out there is that the platform tilts upwards, so your tub's rotational speed will increase and decrease as you fight or go with gravity. This gives the attraction more variety than I'm used to, and it's partially enclosed as well with some nice western theming. Number 6, Sheriff's Showdown. This is a shooting dark ride. It takes place in just one room, but it was a fully fleshed out western town with plenty of physical targets. Not all of them worked, particularly any target that was high in the air, but a good chunk of them were functional. Most reacted slightly when hit, and the gun would vibrate as well. I also like how there were a few revealed targets, but there were instances where one of the targets in the chain would be broken. With some TLC, this would make it into the top 5. Number 5, Haunting. This is an elaborate madhouse. There are multiple pre-shows establishing a spooky atmosphere. I do not want to spoil the effects, but they're well done. The haunted swing itself does not have as much theming as others out there, but it continues the story, and the inverting effect is convincing. Number 4. Malmstrom. This is an Intamin frisbee. I love how these versions have very little warm-up and cooldown time, so a majority of the cycle consists of max swings. You get decent floater airtime if you're in the upper half of the swing, then the down swings offer good Gs for all, which contrasts beautifully with those negative Gs. Number 3. Storm Force 10. This is a bear flume ride with 3 drops, and each one has its own gimmick. The first one is a tilt track. The second is a backwards drop, and it produces a colossal splash that will soak everyone. This drop alone makes it the most drenching ride in the country. I highly recommend a poncho and a change of shoes because the water is cold and plentiful. Then the final drop is a large double down with some airtime. Beyond the drops, this ride is a fun setting on the park's central pond, and some theming as you move through the layout. Number 2. Gold Rush. This is an innovative family coaster from Intamin. This ride offers 2 distinctly different cycles through the clever use of switch tracks. Cycle 1 travels forwards up the lift at the start. Later, you travel up the lift backwards and head back in the direction from which you came. Cycle 2 stops atop the lift at the start, sending you through a part of the course backwards at the start. You then later head over the lift hill forwards to complete the circuit. It's a neat concept that gives the coaster a lot of re-ride value. Then the elements are plentiful and enjoyable. They aren't crazy forceful, but they are fast-paced and peppy with small bits of airtime, laterals, and positive Gs. Then the initial launch is fun too between the oomph and theming. And on that note, the whole ride is nicely dressed up with some themed buildings and western paraphernalia lying around. And coming in at number 1 is the Wave. This is a conversion of the park's former Intamin stand-up coaster known as Shockwave. Riders now sit in art engineering trains. These have a lower minimum height requirement and improve rider comfort, so a double win. I expected this to feel similar to your average B&M looper, but this ride has way more character. The inversions each have their own quirks. The vertical loop has solid Gs in the valleys, and some hang time at the apex. The 0G roll really should be called the -1G roll, as it offers sustained, inverted ejector airtime. Then the final 2 corkscrews have decent snap and wildly throw you forwards if you're sitting in the front right seats. This coaster is short, but I love the elements it contains, and the new train tracks really well. If you want to hear more in-depth thoughts about Wave or any of the rides in the top 3, I have separate reviews already published on the channel for each of them. So those are my favorite 15 rides at Drayton Manor. What are your favorites at this park? Or thoughts on any of the rides I mentioned? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this countdown, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.